We have to thank Europe today because they did something that the United States has completely written off and decided not to do, and that is loan Ukraine money. 90 billion euros worth. If you don't know, the European Parliament yesterday voted in favor of loaning Ukraine 90 billion euro. That will cover many of Ukraine's finances for 26 and 27. This money is broken down to many different things, but really there's two you need to know about. 60 billion, which will go towards buying Ukraine, whether it's air defense systems or weapons or other kind of equipment, and 30 billion is going to be used towards microfinances inside of Ukraine, essentially to help keep the Ukrainian government going. Just so we're clear, this is not just a blank check that Ukraine just gets and then that's it. There are some restrictions that come with it. For example, Ukraine needs to follow certain principles inside the EU, whether that's democratic reforms, respecting minority rights, and things like that. And also, one thing, fighting corruption. And I know what you're saying. I don't understand how this is working and how is Ukraine even going to be able to pay this back? That's the beauty of it. Ukraine only needs to pay it back if Russia gives money to Ukraine, which is actually interesting because that money is actually sitting in frozen Russian bank accounts right now. And I know that for a while there, the United States was negotiating about maybe potentially giving that money back to Russia. And well, this has now motivated the EU to make sure that that money gets back to Ukraine so they can get their money back. But the big thing here you have to understand is the reason why Europe had to do this massive package was because the United States just completely pulled out, dropping 99% of everything they were doing, whether it be humanitarian or military, down to less than 1%. And so if it wasn't for Europe to stand up and help Ukraine, we could be having a way worse conversation about war, because Russia would have been steamrolling Ukraine, which would have meant that, Europe would have been involved, this war would have been bigger, and then eventually the United States would have to step in. So thank you, Europe, because not only are you protecting Ukraine, you're now protecting America, and I understand that our president is not grateful for that, but American citizens are.